we're not rendering in our analytical page. So I did couple of changes and everything's working fine. So you can see here I have fetch all the information from our local storage about the users, addresses, rewards, staking tokens. That's all the data is displaying here. And here we are rendering the data from our local storage. So if I open my inspect element, if I go to the applications, here you will find that right now we have close to 6 arrays of transaction, and that's what you will find here. Here I have the user information, and that's what we are fetching. So in the last video I made a spelling mistake. Because of that I was not able to render the component. In this video I'm going to show you that what are the fix you have to do. So come here, and this is the analytical page. You can see this is the entire analytical page we have. So let me show you. So first thing is, this is our preloader component. So I'm going to simply close this one, and this is the main. So this is the header. Everything's good in the header section, and this is the analytical. We don't need to do any changes in here. And here we have the transaction. Again, we don't need to do any changes in here, but here you can see that. So let me open this one. Let's close this one, and here you can see that. So this is the div. This is the entire demo content we have added in the last video. So all you have to do is that whatever data we have defined in this span, simply take this div and you have to add this particular class, and whatever content we have, simply copy this one, or you can just simply comment this. Okay, so this is the one thing you have to do. I'll show you the JavaScript file, just wait. So this is the one thing you have to do. Make sure you have to give the exact class name. Close this one, and here we have this another div. In this we are rendering our entire cart component, and we have already written all of this code in the last video. Hope you guys have written that. So make sure to give this exact. I made a spelling mistake here, and because of that I was not able to get it. So this is the thing you have to do. So in this we're going to populate the data dynamically with the JavaScript, and here we're going to render our array of cards dynamically. So this is the entire HTML, and I have done one more thing. So if I scroll all the way down here, you will find that, so this is the model we have, and this is the navigation menu, and here I have connected the JavaScript file. So you can see this is the 3 script. The header, we have our web3 package, then we have the header, then we have a common function, then we have the index, and here we are also importing our JSON data user transfer. So this is the file in which we are targeting this particular page. So make sure you have to do all of this import, and these are the import is similar. We are simply removing the notification JavaScript file from here. So that's the thing you have to do here in this analytical page. Now we can come back here in our JavaScript file. So simply click on this, and we can simply come back here in this data. Inside the data we have this user transaction, and here I have done all of the things. So let me simply close this one, and you can see everything's working fine. So this is first we are getting the information from our local storage. So we are getting that. Then we are simply console logger. So you can simply check. So if I show you the browser, so if I let me minimize this one, if I show you the browser, and you can see if you come back to the search console, if you reload that, just forget about this particular error. Don't think about it, but just focus on the data. So we have this 6 array, and we have this 6 or your user information, the account addresses you will have, and here we have the user information which we are rendering here. So that's why I have told many times that you guys have to good with the JavaScript. So you guys can do these things very easily, because we are not using any framework. So first we are getting the data from the local storage, and then this is the timer countdown, so which we have built in the last video, but we are not using. Okay, so again it's an unnecessary too many work, but I've keep it here. If you want to display the timer, you can display that. So here you can see here we have targeted both the element. So again let me make a bigger screen. Let me open this one. So I have targeted the both div. If I come back here, so first let me provide this, otherwise it will be go off, and you can see here. So first we are targeting this contract user. If you come here, that's what I have target here, contract user. So make sure to target that one. If you come back here, close this one, and here I have taken this particular div, and that's what I have target here. This is what I have target. So we got the component, and here we are building the logic. So first we are using the entire array. So this is the array we have. We are running a loop on it, and this is the entire HTML we have taken. So whatever HTML we have written here in this card component, I've simply copied this entire HTML till this here, and I'm simply passing the data. So that's the exact HTML I have written here. So I'm simply passing the changing the simply taking the, this is the hard coded image, but we are making dynamic images. So that's the thing we have done, and here we have the transaction number, and here we have built a simple logic. So here we have to display the two title, whether it's account or claim token. So if user will make any transaction with the token, like withdrawal of the token or staking of the token, then we have to display this particular title. But if user claim reward, then we have to display this claim. And here we are displaying the token, otherwise we have to display nothing. Then we are displaying the gas, then we are displaying the status, and here we are allowing the user to click and go to the polyscan so they can verify the transaction. And that's the only thing I have done here. That's the only thing for the entire cart component, and this is the exactly thing you have to do. So let me close this one. So this is the cart component, and the same thing I have done with the profile. So I have taken this one, and this data, the user data is already available in the form of object. So we don't need to make a loop on it. So we are getting the data in the form of object, and that's what we are simply feeding. So we are taking a variable called user profile HTML, and this is the entire HTML. So if you come back here, and if I come all the way up, if I simply close this one, if I open this container, and this is the entire HTML I have simply copy, and that's what I have paste here. Paste all of this, and simply passing the user name, address, then we are passing his stake amount, then the last calculation time, the last stake time, the reward, and the reward calculation for sale, and this is the entire. So once you're done with this too, so once you do all the things, and here we are simply injecting that. So make sure you have to give the exact name. So here we have called user profile. This is what we have called. So first we have target that, and we have called user profile. You have to call user profile, call inner HTML, and you have to pass the component. So this is the dynamic component we have built, and that's what we are passing for the user, and the same thing we are doing for the card. So this will inject our data dynamically. So hope you guys have got an idea that what you have to do. The only thing you have to do is to come here and check the spelling, because I made a spelling mistake, because of that it was not working. So this is the thing you have to do, comment this, and you have to inject it with JavaScript. The same thing you have to do with here with the card, and everything would be working fine. So if I minimize that one and come back to the browser, you can see every single thing is working fine, and we have all the different images, the different transaction we have done, claim reward or amount, all the things are working absolutely fine. Looks pretty fine. So I hope you guys have got an idea that what are the things you have to do. And now we have to start working on the home page, and this one is going to be the last page which we're going to work on it. So everything is working fine. We have the staking where we are fetching the tokens, the contract, the initializer. We have the profile where we have all the information. So let's move to the home page. Hey all of you, welcome back once again. In the last video, we have successfully completed our entire analytical page. In this video, we're going to work on our home page. So this one is going to be the last video, okay? We're not going to work on the other pages because it's going to be unnecessary working on the front end part, HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So you will not learn anything about the blockchain. So I'll try to stick this one video, and that we're going to simply wrap up, and we're going to build the only one page. That is one is the home page. So here I have opened the project side by side, and this is what we're going to work on it. So this is the entire setup we have done. Close this one, and we have already have all of this component. So close this one, and this is the loader we have, and this is the main component. So this is the header we're going to have it, but we're not going to have this breadcrumb. So we're going to simply remove this one, and we're going to have two components. We're going to have the hero component, and we're going to have the card components. So only these two components I'm going to build. And by the way, if you want to get the complete application with all the pages with those components, then definitely check out the final code in that I have provided that one. So you can take the final code, and in that you will have all the pages and all the data will work fine from the JSON file. But in this, I'm going to build on this two component, hero component, and we're going to build the card component. Come here, we'll take a hero section, and that's what we're going to work on it. So this one is the start, simply copy and paste here, and this one is the end one. So let's close all of these components, and let's start working on it. So here you can see everything is working fine. So we can come here. Here is the hero section. We'll take a let's take a section. It will have a class. We'll call it header section. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called container. Inside that we'll take another div. It will have a class called row, align item center, justify content center. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called hero content. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called intro text center, margin 5, and we'll take this span. It will have a class called intro text. Inside that, we'll take this game on. You can see this is the title. Now we can bring down, we'll take h1, and it will have a class called margin top 4 pixels, and inside that we'll display our text. So we'll say next generation web 3.0 IGO, let's token staking Dapp. Looks pretty good. We'll come down, we'll take a paragraph, and inside that we can take our text. So let's come here, we'll take a full scale blockchain gaming ecosystem for IGO and token staking. So it looks pretty good. Now we can come here, we'll take a div. It will have a class called button group. Inside that we'll take this 2 buttons. So we'll take this explore. It will have a class called button bordered, and we'll have this active smooth scroll anchor, and we'll simply come here, we'll take the icon, and inside that we have to display our rocket icon. It will have a class called margin left 2 pixels, and we'll type our text explore ICO, or you can say ICO. Now this is the one button, simply copy and paste here, and this one is the second button. Simply change the icon to note and change the text, so this will be apply now. So this is the entire hero component we have. Everything's looking pretty fine. Let's open in the big screen, full screen, and here you can see it looks absolutely great, but there is some problem in the button. I think we have missed something for the button, so let's try to bring in the middle. So come here, let's try to examine that what went wrong. This is the hero content. We have to take a div. It will have a class column 12, column bottom 6, column large 9, and we'll have a text center. We'll cut this one, and we're going to bring all the way down here, and this will fix the issue. Now it looks perfect. We can remove this extra IGO. So let's open this one, remove this one, and this one is perfect. So this is the hero component. Now we have to work on the card component, and this one is the final component we have to work. So everything's working fine, and we are done with the hero section. Simply format this one, and let's work on the card component, the project area. So project section, start, simply copy this one and paste here, and this one is the end one. Looks pretty good. We'll take a scan section. Inside that we'll have a ID. It will say explore. It will have a class called project area, and that will take a div. It will have a class called container. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called row. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called column 12. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called intro, deflex, and justify content between, and it will have a align item and margin 0. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called intro content. Inside that we'll take a spam. It will have a class called intro text, and that will say project. Looks pretty good. You can see this is the text which is displaying. Now we can take a h3, and we'll say margin top 3 pixels, margin bottom 0, and we'll say upcoming IGO or token. That looks pretty good. Now we can simply come here, we'll take a div. It will have a class called intro button. We'll take this anchor, and we'll say project page. Then we'll assign the class button container button, and we'll display our text view more. So this one is looking fine. So this is the card titles. Now we have to work on the actual card, and this one is going to be actually a slider. So we'll come here and close this one. Let's take a div. It will have a class called, it's going to be a slider. So we'll say project slider. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called swiper container slider medium items. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called swiper wrapper. It will have the container list. Inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called swiper slide item, and inside that we'll take a div. It will have a class called card project card. Inside that, we'll take a div. It will have a class called media. Inside that, we have to take the anchor and we have to redirect to the project detail page. Inside that, we'll take the image, asset, image, contain, and we're going to take the first image. Now we have to add the class. So we'll say card, image top, avatar, max large. So this looks pretty good. Now we can simply come here. We'll take a div. It will have a class called medium, media body, and margin left 4 pixels. Inside that, we'll take an anchor, redirect to the project detail page, and we'll have a text called margin 0. Then we'll say metaverse. You can see our slider is already working place. That's pretty good. Now we'll take a div. It will have a class countdown, deflex. Inside that, we'll add the data and it will be the date. So we'll say 2022 6:30 and we can, that's the looking fine. Now I can simply cut this one and just paste here. So that looks good. So this is the title we have. Now we have to come here. We'll take a div. It will have a class called card body. Inside that, we'll take a div. It will have a class called items. Inside that, we'll take a div. It will have a class called single item. Inside that, we'll take a spam. It will have a text. We'll say total raise. Inside that, we'll take the amount. So we're going with the hardcode data, but you can feed that dynamically, which we have done in the last video. So that looks good, but the alignment is not good. So I done something wrong. So let's come here. This is the entire media component. Okay, I made a mistake. So simply cut this one, cut and paste here. So it will be inside the media component, and you can see now designing is taking place. Now all we have to do is simply copy this one, single item, and replicate 3 times. So replicate 3 times and change the title. So this will be the value. You can display 4.5 million. This will be our min allowance, means the located token, and it could be this amount. So that's the perfect, the card body. Now we have to work on the progress bar. So we can simply do one thing. We can come here. We'll take a div. It will have a class item progress. Inside that, we'll take a div. It will have a class called progress. It will have the margin top 4 and we'll take margin top medium 5. It will have a div. It will have a class called progress bar, and it will have the rule, and that will be the progress bar with a space. And we have to assign the style. Width is going to be, let's say, 25%. And we can come here. We'll take the Arial. Arial value now is 25. Then we have to take this minimum. So Arial minimum value 0, and the max one is going to be 25 or 100. You can type. So that's what we have, and here we can pass the 25%, the text 20% or 25%. You can type whatever you want. Now we can come here. We'll take a div. It will have a class called progress scale, and it will have a deflex, justify, content between, and margin top 3 pixels. Inside that, we have to take this particular information. So we'll say this much token is allotted. So far none have taken any token. Simply replicate, and here we'll say the actual value, the token use case. You can display your token data. So this is the one. Now we can come here. We can take a div. It will have a class called project footer deflex, and we'll have a align item center, margin top 4, margin top medium 5 pixels. Inside that, we have to take the anchor, and we have to display the redirect to the detail page, and it will have a button white and button small. So there is it. Now we have to display our text. So we'll say participation. Looks pretty good. So that's the button we have. Now we can come here. We'll take a div. It will have a class called social share. It will have margin left, auto, and inside that we'll take a UL. It will have a class called deflex align list unlisted. Inside that we'll take a li. It will have an anchor, and we don't want to read icon anywhere, and we have to display our icon. So first icon will display the Twitter. And by the way, the Twitter is no longer Twitter. The icon is changed. It's X. So for the time we have to use it. So simply replicate it 5 times. Change this to Telegram. This will be our global, and this will be our Discord, and the last one is going to be YouTube. So we have all the icon, and that's pretty good. Now we can come here and we can display the icon. So the network native token. So we can take a div. It will have a class called blockchain icon. We'll take an image and it will have this assets image, and we have to pick the Ethereum. You can pick any network depending on the token you have deployed. So looks good. So this is the card component, and we can come here and we can simply take a div. It will have a class, and this will call swiper pagination, and the user can click and they can swipe through that. So you can see our slider is absolutely working fine, and with that we are done with this entire component. And again, I'm telling you that if you guys really want the complete project with all the pages with working, so make sure to check the final code. So that looks pretty good. Now we can come here, we can take this single card, and you can simply display as many as you want. So simply copy that one and replicate a couple of times. So you will have a multiple card, you can see. Close this one, or you can easily able to populate this data with the help of JavaScript. That's what I have done in the final code. So looks good, and here we are done with this entire home page. So this is our slider working absolutely fine. You can easily able to just populate the data with the JavaScript file, with the smart contract, whatever you want. Things looks pretty good. Come here, and here we have the analytical, and this is what we have covered in the last video. So right now you can see we are getting all of this data into our analytical field. You can do the same thing for the home section as well. You can do the same thing. So simply do one thing, simply come here. Looks pretty good. So that's the entire project. So I'm really excited. I hope you guys have followed this far. It was really huge. We have to work so many things. We have to build the smart contract, front end part, connecting, so many things we have done. Everything's working fine. You can see we are here in the staking page, and it will automatically pop up our MetaMask, and we are connected with the application, and here we are fetching the information. So if you reload that, you will have all the information. So right now we haven't staked any token into this, so we can stake that very easily. So let's take let's take 10 token. So click on stake. First we'll call the approve function in the contract, and after the approve we have to call the stake function. So you can see here it's making the transaction. Again, everything is working fine. If you have encountered any error, make sure to rewatch the video and try to understand the smart contract. That's why I have divided all the contract into a small parts, so you guys can focus more. Don't try to rush, try to understand that what logic I have implemented, because once you will understand, you can easily able to do all the modification in the contract as per your requirement. So you can see we can easily able to make the transaction. So right now we have stake 10 token. If you come back to analysis, so that's awesome. Looks pretty good. Close all of this, and you can come back here, the blockchain coder. You can click on the source section. You can come here, and this is the project. You can click and you can watch this, because once you will get the final code, you have to follow the exact step which I have explained in this video. Okay, you can simply get that one. So that looks pretty fine. So with that, we are done with this entire project. We have designed the entire architecture of our application. We have built different contract, and we have used those contract internally, checking for different conditions. So make sure to try to understand whatever logic we have implemented if you really want to become a master in DeFi developer. Okay, because this type of contract we're going to build a lot, and we're going to build more project like DeFi one. So you have to know that how everything's work. That's the only thing I'm going to cover, and I want you to watch this particular video which I'm going to add. Now what I will do is, let me show you that how you can stake the token in this particular contract. So right now this particular contract, which is for 7 days, has 400 TBC coin. And this one is a really powerful project if you want to build your custom token and allow user to buy and sell any product using your own token. So this will teach you a lot about that as well. So we have this much token in this 7 days contract, and 20% will get reward. Then we have the 2 user stake, and this is the ending date of the 7 days token. And you can see that I have already staked token, and this much I got the reward. So I have staked 300 token and I got this reward. Now what I want to do is I want to stake 100 token. So let's click on the stake. So first it's going to call the approve contract function we have in the contract. So first we have to approve the staking contract to take our token. Click on confirm, and it's going to make a transaction, and it will allow our staking contract to take our token so we can stake and we can earn the reward. So you can see it's calling the contract, and here the transaction went through. All of you, hope you guys are great. So this project will blow your mind. If you really want to learn about DeFi, then this is the project which you have to build. Let me give you a complete overview that what project you're going to build in the coming hours and what it will teach you. So this is the incredible front-end UI part we have designed for this entire staking Dapp platform. You can able to see that it had a multiple component, multiple categories, and that's all you can able to find right up here. So you can click here, you can come back here. We have this navigation, different navigation. You can click on the search bar. Here you will have the search bar. You can close it up, you can open it up, and here we have the hero section. We have this buttons, you can come down, and here we have the upcoming project. So you can display whatever project you want to initialize in your staking Dapp platform, and that's what you can display here. So we have multiple projects, that's what we are displaying here. And we have the volume, you can able to navigate with this. This also looks pretty good. And here we have some previous projects, so you can display all the project which is closed. That's all you can display here, and you can display the amount of monies they have raised. This is the multi-chain. It's actually features, the highlight section, and this is the team section we have. You can go to the different pages, you can click and you can navigate, you can have a look. And this is the how to participate, this is the apply. So if anybody wants to send any emails, they can do it from here. And here we have the beautiful social icons. You can click and you can come back here. So that's what we have in the home page. If you click on this project, you will come back to the project page, and that's how the entire project would look like. You can see we have a external page. This is the title, then we have this header, and here we are displaying all the projects. So right now on our staking Dapp platform, we are allowing user 4 different contracts, so they can stake their token and they can earn reward. So each contract will have a different rewards, and that's what we have highlighted here. So you can see the volumes, all of the things you can able to find. You can click on this details and it will take you to the contract detail page, and here they can able to find all the information about the project, that what is the staking amount, what is the reward. That's all they can able to find. So this is the reward, this is the summary. They can claim the token. This is the project summary. They can have a video, so if you want to make a video, you can promote that very easily here. This is the overview of the contract which you will provide. That looks pretty good. So that's the project detail page. Now come back to the staking page, and this one is the most important page of our staking Dapp. You can see we have a stunning front-end UI. We have everything's working fine. This is the hero section, and if I scroll down, this one is the main part. You can see that here we are providing 4 different categories of contract for staking the token. So we have 7 days, 14 days, 13 days, and 90 days, or you can take it any arbitrary number. It's totally up to you. So you can see that this contract is already live on Polygon test network, so you can able to fetch this data at real time. So right now in the 7 days contract, 400 token in the 7 days, and I have staked 300 token. So you can see 14 days, this all data will change real time. So you can see 14 days, all the data is displaying. This is the 13 days, but I have initialized this 21, so you can give any number. It's totally up to you, and I'll show you every single thing that what you have to do and how you can initialize all of these things. So this all data is dynamic and coming from the contract. Here is the countdown which will tell the user that when this contract is going to be end. So it looks pretty fine. Now what I will do is, let me show you that how you can stake the token in this particular contract. So right now this particular contract, which is for 7 days, has 400 TBC coin. And this one is a really powerful project if you want to build your custom token and allow user to buy and sell any product using your own token. So this will teach you a lot about that as well. So we have this much token in this 7 days contract, and 20% will get reward. Then we have the 2 user stake, and this is the ending date of the 7 days token. And you can see that I have already staked token, and this much I got the reward. So I have staked 300 token and I got this reward. Now what I want to do is I want to stake 100 token. So let's click on the stake. So first it's going to call the approve contract function we have in the contract. So first we have to approve the staking contract to take our token. Click on confirm, and it's going to make a transaction, and it will allow our staking contract to take our token so we can stake and we can earn the reward. So you can see it's calling the contract, and here the transaction went through. Now reload the browser and you can see nothing changed. Now you have to simply pass the amount and click on stake. So if you click on that, this time it's going to stake the token into the contract. Here we are calling the stake function. Click on confirm, and here we are making the transaction. So just wait, the transaction is happening. So it will take a little bit time because we are doing on a test network. So you can see it's taking a little bit time, and once the transaction will complete, it will take you back to the analytical page. And here you can see this is the analytical page we have, and here you can able to find all the transaction history you have done and the information and the balance you have. So this is the header section we have, and this is the banner section. You can see this is your address, this is the token you have staked 300, and this is the reward, the last reward calculate time, and this is the stake time and the reward you have and the reward you have claimed so far. So I have done all of this, that's why you can see all the data, and this is the short description I have given. You can reload the browser and you can able to find that one. If you come here, you can see here this is the transaction we have done. This is the 12th transaction, and I have staked 100 token. You can click on this transaction, it will take you to the Polygon, and here you can verify the transaction. You can see what we have done. We have called the function, and we have this much token, and we have transferred the contract, all of things. So this is how you can verify the transaction. Now come back to the staking. So this is how you can done, and here you can see the data is updated. 500 BST we have, and you have stuck 400. Earlier it was 300 and looked pretty fine. Now you can see 7 days. Now come back to the 14 days. Right now in 14 days we don't have anything, and this now is looking fine. This is the 14 days. Now this one is 40%, and this is the token. All the data is available. Right now we have nothing for reward because I haven't staked any token. Now let me stake the token. So I want to stake 100. Click on the stake, and it's going to make a transaction. We'll first approve the tokens, and yeah, coin. Now we have to just wait, let the transaction get complete, and here we have completed transaction. Reload the browser, and if you come here now, click on that, nothing is there. Now we have to simply stake. Click on this, and we can simply call this one, and now you will see that after transaction the token, the coin will be displayed here. So it's happening, and here we are back to the analytical, and you can able to find the token you have staked. So you can see this is the 30 number transaction, 100 token we have staked. You can verify that, and here you can see if you click on this 14, you can see 100 and 100 and this is the balance I have. This is the 40%, and currently we have one user, and this is the token reward we have got initially. So you can click on here, and you can easily able to withdraw the fund, confirm it, and this one is going to make the transaction, and you can easily able to claim the reward from out of this token. Looks pretty good. Just wait, the transaction is happening, and here you will back, and here you can see the transaction is stored here. Claim reward, claim token, and you will have it, and you can easily able to verify the contract. So the data is updated, everything is updated. Looks pretty fine. Now if I want to simply stake more token, or if I want to withdraw, I can do that very easily. So let's withdraw my entire token from this 7 days contract. So I have 400 tokens into the 7 days contract. Let me withdraw that. Click on this withdraw, and now I can withdraw. So what this call will do, it will charge couple of tokens because the date is not completed and I'm withdrawing. So that's why they're going to charge 30% fee for early withdrawal. And here the transaction complete, and you can see this is the amount we have withdrawn. You can verify that. Come back here, and you can see I have nothing. 0 token I have staked. Now the balance is reduced to 400, and the balance is come here. I can easily able to withdraw the fund here in the 700 days, and if I claim that, you will see that it will be decreased to 0. And here we have claimed the reward. And here we are back. So the transaction completed, we have claimed the token. Come back here and you can see right now the 7-day has 0 token which I have stake, and the reward is 0. So everything is dynamic, working absolutely fine. Here we have the initialize. So from you can initialize the contract. Here we have the profile where you can able to find all the transaction which you have done, and this is the home page. And you can click, will take you to the project detail. This is the staking page, looks pretty good. And this is the contact, so you can easily able to send email as well. So let me show you. Let's give the name, last name, I'll say Hussein. Let's give the email, let's give the number, and let's give the message, hey Daulat Hussein, and click on send. And if you come back here in the Gmail account, you can able to find the information you have provided, Hussein, Daulat, and the blockchain coder. Everything is looking fine. So this one is also working fine. So this is the complete project. You can see everything is working fine. Now let me do one thing. Let me log out from the application and let me reload the browser. You can see it will automatically pop up the MetaMask, or you can add a click event on the button, then it will open. You can see our notification bar is also working. We're not able to fetch the information from Polygon because we are not connected, and that's why you can see the error message. Now let's pass the credential and click on unlock, and that will fix the issue. So you can see here we are, it's taking a little bit time. Reload the browser and that will work fine. You can see we got the token and the price and everything all. So hope this entire thing makes sense to all of you guys. Now let me show you the code, that what you're going to code along with me in this particular project. So if I come back my VS Code, you can see this is the entire code we have for this particular project. We are not using any framework. We are using pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We're not using React, we are not using TypeScript, we are not using Next.js. We are using only HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, because most of you are beginner. Most of you try to learn about the development of Dapp without using any framework. So I thought let's build a project without using any framework. Okay, so that's what I will here. So this is the entire piece of code. Again, let me tell you that how you can get the starter file and how you can get the complete code if you want to take that. So come back to the blockchain coder. And this is the place where you can find all the project we have built on our channel, including the source code. And recently we have launched our course. That's also you can find. Click on this source code and you will come back to the source code section. Here you will find all the project we have built and their final source code. We have tons of project. So this is one is the code is listed. Click on this get, or you can see all of these 4 projects are absolutely amazing. So you can click here and you can get it, or you can come here, you can click on this recent and it will filter the data. And you can get it from here, or you can simply type the name of the project, staking token, and it will give you that. So click on that, it will take you to this page. From here you can able to get the starter file and the final code. The code you have seen just now, that's what you will get in the final code. So again, if you take the source code, that will give a very valuable contribution to our team, so we can bring this kind of free courses for all of you guys to teach you that how you can build amazing application. So your contribution always welcome and means a lot for us. So you can get the starter file and you can buy the code here. So what I will do, once you get the source code, this is what exactly you will get. This is what exactly you will get. And you will not get this final code as well. You will get something else. I'll tell you what you will get. So you can see this is the entire folder and file structure we have here. So this is the first folder we have assets. In that you will find all the assets, including CSS, fonts, images, JavaScript, and external library we are using in the project. So if I open the CSS file, in that you will find all the CSS, custom CSS we have designed and the plugin. So this is all minified version of CSS you will have. Again, you don't need to do any changes in here unless or until you know how the CSS work. So we have all the CSS file, and we have this vendor, and that we have the minified version of the CSS. So all this library we are using, like Bootstrap, animations, gallery, so slider, so all of these packages we are using, that's all you will find here. So this is the CSS file, this is the font. Again, don't need to worry about that. We are using some custom form in our application. This is the images. Again, one thing I want to highlight, that if you want to change any image in the application, so you can change the name, but you have to give the exact name which the image you're going to replace. So you can see this is the background, and if I want to remove this particular image, I have to give the exact name. So in that way you will not mess. This is the content. In that we'll have all of these images we are using in the project. MetaMask, Solana, thumbnail for the transactions. This is the wallet one we have. Looks pretty fine. Close this one, and this is the background. This is the logo. So if you want to put your own logo, you can put that, but make sure to give the exact name. This is the fav icon. So all the assets you will find right up here. This is the favicon we have. So close this one, and this is the JavaScript file. So we have external library. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I open this folder, in that you will find all of the libraries we are using. What I have done, I have downloaded the entire library locally in my system. Or you can use their CDN, but because sometimes what will happen that if you use CDN, maybe those who are providing you the CDN for having the functionality which you want in your application, maybe the website is slow. So when the CDN provider website is slow, in that way the application will take a lot of time for loading. So it's always better that you have to download the entire library and use it locally. So here we have this entire library which I'm using locally. Bootstrap we have, Countdown, we have Gallery, we have jQuery, and that looks pretty good. Now we have the proper, then we have the shuffler, and we have the slider. So don't need to worry about that. These all libraries we have used for building our sliders, animations, all of the things. So don't need to worry about that, and you will get this exactly. If you come back to the main, here we have written some custom JavaScript for all the things. Again, you will get this as well in the final code, so you don't worry about it. So this is the entire JavaScript we have, and here we have some more. So you have seen that we are using a notification bar whenever anything error is happening in our application, the notification pop-up. So that's what we have here. So we have this custom CSS for that. You can do the modification if you don't like the color, and here we have the JavaScript. Again, don't need to do any changes in the JavaScript and in the CSS file. All you can do is you can replace the images. So that's the assets folder. Close this one, and here we have the main JavaScript file, which is not inside the asset but outside the asset folder. And this one is the most important folder, and that we have built all the logic for interaction with the contract, fetching the data, making token swap, staking, all of the things. It's not swap, like it's staking. So first we have this data folder, because you can see that we are displaying some demo data, or we are using our application as a reusable component. So that's what you can find here. So let me show you what I mean by that. So the very first JS file, we have this product.js, and here we have defined all the contracts. Just imagine that you have multiple contract, multiple staking contract, and you want to provide the information about that to the user. So all you can do is you can define all of the contract information right up here in the JSON file, and that will reflect in the front end. So that's what I have done. You can do that in either way. You can store the information in the contract, and you can fetch the information from there, and you can display it. But I don't want to create and allow user to pay unnecessary gas fee, because these are going to be the static information. So I would prefer to go in this way, and I want to go in this way because when you will store all of this information in the contract, you have to pay higher amount of money, and that's totally unnecessary. So that's one we have here, the product JSON file, and this is the home data. So here we are simply rendering the data in our home page. So this is the entire JSX file, this is the user information, this is the footer menu. So all of the things we're going to code along with me. Okay, so this part, the folder and file we have in this JS folder, that's all we're going to code together. So you will have a better understanding that what we are building. Actually, we're going to code this entire application together from scratch. I'm not going to just simply copy and paste the code. I'm going to code it along with you, so you guys can follow me. So this is the entire home data file we have, and all of the data which you can see, that's coming from there, that file. Like once you will build, this will not only teach you that how to be interacting with the smart contract, it will also teach you that how you can build custom logic and use a reusable component model in your application. You have heard about reusable component model in Next.js or React, but you can also do that with the help of JavaScript here in this HTA here in the Dapp. So that looks pretty good. Now we have this project data, so you can also display the information about the projects. You can see we have all of this information. We're going to write it together, don't need to worry about that. And here we have the project detail page, where we are populating with the help of JavaScript. So we are not manipulating the data with the, we don't have the static data in the project detail page. We are manipulating the data based on the project here on the base of the dynamic data. Okay, so that will make sense a lot. And here we have the entire transaction components. So we are rendering all the transaction which user are doing, we are fetching, and then we are rendering on our page. So that's also we're going to code it together, don't need to worry about that. Now this is the data, and here we have the main function for interactions. So the very first page you will find is common JS. If you open that, here you will find the most common use function we are using in our project in multiple pages, like connecting with the MetaMask, interacting with the blockchains, fetching our state variables, passing the information about the contract, which contract we are interacting with into our context. That's all information we are doing here. So you can see this is the functions we have written. That's pretty huge, and again we're going to code it together, and that will teach you every single thing. Okay, so don't need to worry about that. This is the ether package. So again, I'm not using the CDN, I'm using the entire library which I have downloaded locally in my system, and that's what I have here. So we're going to use this ether package as well. Then we're going to use this header. So here there is the most important part. You can see these are the 4 contracts which I have deployed on Polygon test network, and we have the addresses. So if you don't like this particular contract, all you have to do is to deploy the contract and you have to paste the address, and it will work absolutely fine. Again, I will teach you everything. Okay, again you will find everything well explained when we'll start working on the project. And this is the index page. Here we have built all the function which allow us to bring all the functionality to our dApp. You can see it's pretty huge. Then we have this initializer, so you can easily able to initialize the contract. So once you deploy the contract, you have to initialize the contract with all the data. Then the contract will work and allow user to stake. So you can do it from here, but I'll try to keep it simple. Then we have this web3.js. So this is the entire library we are using again. So this is the entire library. So that's the most important folder in our project. So close this one. Hope you guys have got an idea that what you will get in the asset file, what you will get in the JS files. And now we have a couple of more folders and files. Let me explain that as well. So once you will get the final code, in that will not provide you this working functions of the dApp, but you will also get this complete template. So I'll show you, just focus along with me. So here we have this particular folder called web3. In that we have all the contracts. So we have this artifact, caches, and we are using Hardhat for deployment of our contract. You can use Remix ID, but we are using with Hardhat. So this is the artifact we have. And again, we're going to write this entire contract together. So you will understand that what logic we are building, how we are writing the contract, how the contract is interacting with the artifact interface, owner. So we have all of this contract. This is the address contract we have. I'll explain in detail that what this contract does. We have this context, we have the ERC-20, we have the initializer, we have the lock, then we have this is the entire one, we have the honor, we have this guard class for the reentrancy attack on a contract, and this is the custom ERC-20 token which I have created. We are not using any external library for our smart contract development, and that's what I find best about this project, because every single thing we're going to write it together. You can use the external library to build a dApp, but that will not teach you anything, and you cannot able to modify and fulfill the requirement of your clients. If our clients come up to you and he tells you that I want this particular feature in my contract, this particular pricing strategy I want, so in that way you're not able to provide that because you have used the external library. But if you follow this particular project, it will teach you everything that how you can customize it as per the client requirement. So this is the entire token we have built. This is called TBC, the blockchain coders. That's what I have called. You can see this is the entire one with all the data we have designed, and we're going to code it along with me. Don't need to worry about that. And this is the main contract, the staking one. You can see it's pretty huge. We have a lot of functions, a lot of things are going on. You can see how easily we have staked the contract, but it's not that simple. There is tons of things is happening, tons of calculation is happening inside the contract, and then we are allowing user to do that. So that's the entire contract folder. This is a script. So we're going to deploy the 2 contract, staking and the token. And this is the staking. That's what we'll deploy, and we'll deploy this, the blockchain coder, the token, ERC-20 token, so the user can stoke the token. And that's what we're going to do it. Close this one, and here we have this one. So again, this is the entire test. We're not going to write the test, so I will simply remove that one. And this is the get ignore. This is the Hardhat config file. So this is the exact configuration you have to do. All you have to do is that you have to provide the private key, and I have already done the configuration. Simply copy the private key and paste here, and you can deploy the contract very easily. So we're going to deploy that to the we're going to deploy to the, so we are deploying the contract to the Polygon Mumbai. You can simply pass the RPC URL of the network, and you can deploy it to any network, mainnet, testnet, or Solana, wherever you want. You can do that very easily. These are the 2 packages we need. That's must. And this is some information you will have. Close this one, and that's what we have into our web3 folder. And here we have all the pages. So right now you can see Whatever you have seen in the demo, that's all the code we have here. Looks pretty good. So all the thing is there which you can able to modify and have a look. This is the contact, this is the harded config file. So again, I have provided twice, so I will simply remove that in the final code, so you won't have this one. And here you can see this is the HTML home page. This is the home page we have, all the code. You can simply edit it if edit any text you don't like it or images you don't like it. This is the project page. You can simply edit the text. You can project detail page. You can edit the data, which I will tell you. And here we have the register page. And here we have the staking page, where we have built all the functions to stake the token and all of the things. So don't need to worry about that, because every single page we're going to code together and we're going to write every single thing from scratch. That will teach you everything. Now let me show you that what you will have into this particular staking template. In that we'll have a lot of pages. You can see that. And this one is absolutely gold mine. So now before I show you, let me show you that how you can deploy the contract and how you can initialize the contract and how you can attach the particular contract which you have deployed into this particular application. So you guys can follow that. So what I will do is, first thing I have to do is I have to get into this web3 folder, because there I have the contract, so I have to deploy that one. So right now you can see we have all of this contract, and I want to deploy this particular contract, staking contract, and the our token. If you come back here in the header, and here we have to provide the information. So you can see we have the ABI of the staking contract. So if you not make any changes in our contract, then you can use the same ABI. But if you are changing anything in the staking contract, then once you deploy the contract, you have to simply copy the ABI and you have to paste here. So this is the ABI for the token, and this ABI is not the regular ABI like you will find in OpenZeppelin, because we have built our custom ERC-20 token. So that particular token will have a different ABI. So you can see we have the token address, because this token address will let the user to deposit, because you have to define, like you can have one token or you can have multiple token. So here I'm going with the one simple token for deploying in multiple contract. So you can see we have all the addresses of different contract, but all the contract has the same ABI because we have the same functionality. So this is the old one, all the contract which I have deployed. Now I'm going to deploy that one. So let's come here, let's deploy it for fresh. So come back in Web3, and first thing we have to install the hard hat. So we'll say npm, we'll go back to the Web3 folder, and now we have to install the packages which we have here. So come back to the package JSON file. Here we have this hard hat, and here you have to paste the private key before you deploy that. So you can see I will simply copy the private key, and that's what I'm going to paste here. Okay, where it gone? So what I will do, I'll simply copy that one and well back here and paste here. So this is the private key of my wallet, and to get the private key is very easy. All you have to do is come back MetaMask, click on this three dot, go to the account details, and simply click here and pass your credential, and you will get the private key. Okay, so come back here in the code, and that's what you have to provide. So you have the private key. Now we have to install all these two packages. So let's install that very quickly. So npm install, hit enter, and this is going to install the packages. So make sure you have to be in Web3 folder and then install the package, because that's where we have the package.json file. So this will take a little bit time, and you can see in my case it's happened very quickly. So I'll bring this down. So we have installed the packages, don't need to worry about that. Now everything's set. Now we have to deploy the contract. So we're going to deploy this staking contract. So this is the contract we're going to deploy, and we're going to deploy this token contract, this two contract. Our staking contract is using all the other contract like address, honor. So our staking contract is dependent on that. If you not provide that, our contract is not going to work. So here we are in the deploy script, and now what I will do is, here we have this particular one. So simply come up here and simply grab this particular contract address. I don't want to make any spelling mistake, because that's a really very irritating problem. So save it. Now simply grab this one, come here, and let me give this comment, staking contract. Simply copy this one and paste here, and this will call the token, and here we have to give the contract name. So copy that one and paste here, and we have to change the name. So change it, make it small, and we have to copy that one and paste here as well. So we are deploying this two contract. So far so good. Hope you guys have no issues. Now we can deploy the contract. So that looks pretty good to me. I have no issues in that. Make sure that you have to be in the web3 folder. Now we have to run this particular command, npx hard@run script, means we are into the script folder /deploy -network Polygon. You can give any network, a Robston, Gorilla, Mumbai, Ethereum, you can use anyone. Just give the name and provide the RPC URL in the hard config file, and it will deploy the contract. And make sure to have a balance in your MetaMask account. So you can see it's compiled successfully, and it's compiled. I'll bring it up. It's taking a little bit time because the contract is really huge. So here we got the staking contract, but our token contract is taking a little bit time. So you have multiple way to deploy the contract, and you can see I waited for quite long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this one, and I'm going to use a remix ID for deployment. I don't know why it's taking so much time. So what I will do, I'll simply clear my terminal and I'll come here, and I have to do a little bit modification in the contract if I want to use the remix ID for the deployments. It's not a modification. I have to keep all the contract in one single file. So what I will do, I'll come here. I have all of these contract in different files, but I have to bring it in one single file. So come here, click on this contract. And by the way, whatever update we are doing here, which you can see, once you will get the final code, and that all of this update is going to be already done. Okay, so you don't need to do any one of these things. Obviously you have to change the contract addresses, or if you modify the stake contract, then you have to provide the ABI of that particular contract. Otherwise everything would be fine. If you all you have to do is to pass the token address and the contract address. Let's create a file into this contract, and I'll call it remix.so. In that I have to simply bring all the contract together. So what I will do, I have already done that. You can see here we are in remix ID. I'm simply copy that one, and I'm going to simply paste here, and you will have this particular file where you will have all the contract together. So you can see we have the library, address library, and we have the abstraction for initialable, then we have the reentrancy guard, then we have the context, we have the ownable, then we have the ERC-20 phase, then we have the staking contract, and we have the token contract. So all the contracts are in one file. Let me rearrange this so it will look pretty good. Let's bring this together, bring it here, and looks pretty good. You can see all the contract in one single file. Simply copy that one and paste here. So when you will get the final code, this is, you already will have the code in the remix ID. All you have to do is to copy and paste here. I have already done that. Let me rearrange this. I don't know why it came back to the normal. Let me rearrange that one, close all this opening one, and looks pretty good. Now we can simply deploy the contract. You can see everything's working fine. We have no issues in our code, and now we are ready for the deployment. So click on this, and first we have to pick the network where you want to deploy. So we want to go to the MetaMask, injected MetaMask, and you can see here we have the MetaMask. It's fetching our balance, and we are connected with our MetaMask. I already have this much fund in this particular account, and if you really want to deploy the contract, you have to have a couple test fund in the contract, which I have explained n number of time. I would suggest you to watch the NFT marketplace, where we have deployed the NFT marketplace on the internet, and we have deployed the contract as well. So in that I've explained everything, that how you can do the basic configuration and get the token. Looks pretty good. Now what I can do is, now I have to deploy the contract. So I come here you will find all the contract we have defined in this remix ID, but the one we have to deploy is this, the blockchain coder, the token, and the staking contract. So first we're going to deploy this staking contract. You can click and you can simply change the contract which you want to deploy. So I'll deploy this one, staking contract. Click on this deploy, and it's going to make the transaction. So just wait. We are doing with the Polygon. You can see deployment. Click on confirm, and here it's going to make the transaction. So it's pending because we are doing on the actual network, test network, and the contract is deployed successfully. We have no issues. And here we got the instead of the contract and the address. You can open that. You can able to find all the functions we have included in this staking contract. You can simply copy the address. You can come here and you can hit enter, and you can see the contract is successfully deployed to the Polygon Mumbai, and you can find the transaction details. Come back here. Now we are done with the staking contract deployment. Now we have to deploy the token. So I can come here, click on this, the blockchain coder, and now we have to deploy this particular contract. So click on this deploy. It's going to make the transaction, And here we have the MetaMask contract deployment. Click on this deployment and it's going to deploy our contract for the token. Looks pretty good. And here the contract is deployed. You can copy the address, you can come back to the Polygon and you can check whether the contract is deployed. Click on this and you can see it's taking a little bit time. Simply refresh the browser. You can see it's happened very quickly in my end, but if it's take more time in your end, just wait for our time being. You can see that our token is also deployed and our staking contract is also deployed. Now you have this two data. You have the address of the staking contract and you have the address of the token, and that's what you need. So what I will do is I'll come back here and come back to the remix ID. And now the very first function we have to call in our staking contract, because we have to tell our staking contract that what contract it has to take, what pricing, what durations, everything, all the information we have to give. So if you come back here, let me bring this down, and here we have this particular function in our staking contract. Click on that. So the very first function you have to call to start this staking contract is this initialize, and in that you have to pass all the information. You can do it very easily at the time of deployment. All you have to do is to provide the hardcode data at the time of deployment, and that will also work fine, but I would like to go in this way. It's totally up to you. So if you open that, in that you have to provide all of this information. So first you have to provide the who is the owner of the contract. So here you have the option to define the owner of the contract. It's not the person who's deployed the contract. You can also give anybody's address as an owner. So just imagine that someone hired to build this particular dApp and you are building this and deploying the contract, but the person who have given you the contract, he wants you to be the owner of the staking contract. So that's how you can define it. You will build it, you will deploy that, but you're going to take his address and you can assign it so he become the owner. So that's one. Let me pass the address. So this is the owner of the contract. Now we have to pass the address of the token, which will allow user to stake. And this one is very important. You have to provide that particular token address which you can allow user to stake, because if someone's try to stake different token, it's not going to work. So we have already deployed the contract. So this is the token. I'll simply copy the address because this token I want to allow them. Simply paste here, looks fine. And now we have to provide the rate, that what amount of reward they will get. So RPM rate, if you come back here, go back to the staking, you can see this is the rate we have. We have different rate for different time period, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, it's totally up to you that what rate you want to provide it. Okay, you can see this data is dynamic and here you have to provide the rate. So we're going to go with 20% and that's what you have to pass. And now we have to define that what amount of token you can allow the user to stake in the contract. So what is the minimum, what is the maximum? So the minimum I want to assign, you can go with the 0, and 0 is not the ideal, because why you allow user to call the contract with a 0 token? They have to stake at least something if they're calling the particular contract function. So I want them to stake 1 token minimum. They have to stake 1, and here you have to provide 18.0 because it's in the way. If you give 1, it's not going to work. So you have to give 18.0. So 1, and you have to give 18.0. So it will be the 1 ether, because here we are using 18 decimal points. So we have 1 is the minimum token they have to stake, and the max I want them to stake 5,000, depending that what is the supply of your token which you are providing. So in my case, the token which I have deployed, it has a 10,000 supply, and I allow user to stake only 5,000 token into this. This number can be anything. Okay, so again you have to convert it into a way, 18 decimal points. So after 5,000 I have to give 18.0. You can calculate it because this one is very important. If you're deploying to the mainnet and you don't have that much token and you are assigning in the contract, then your entire contract will be gone. Looks pretty good. And here we have to provide the start date and end date. So I want this contract to be get start as soon as I call this function. So for that I will give this 0, or you can specify any particular date. Means if you want to start this contract after a day or a 2 day or any particular day, make sure to provide that day into a second. I'll show you how you can convert that. So I'll start this particular contract as soon as I call this function. And if I come back here, you can see this is the website which I use very frequently, because we have to pass the date into a seconds. Okay, so what I can see is, you can see we are in the 7th month. So this is the current date at the time of I'm recording this video. 7th month, today is 10th, and you can pick the date. you can see right now we have this 14 days 7 days time. So what I will do is I want them to stake their token. This token period will be for the 7 days. So right now today is 10, so I'll say 7. You can simply call 7, means at 17. So when the date is 17, this contract will not allow user to stake the token. So this is the ending period. Now click on this convert and it will give you the second timestamp, and that's what you have to provide in the contract, because this date in future. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind. So that's the timestamp. You have to provide end time, and here you have to define the day. So it's 7. So that's what we have to specify. And here we have to provide the amount. So just imagine that if someone's stake their token and the time period is for 7 days, but they have decided to withdraw the token before the time period ends. So in that case, we have to charge certain fee because they are not fulfilling the requirement for getting the reward. So we're going to take a couple of tokens from their tokens. We're going to charge commission for that. So the commission is totally up to you. I would say that, like here we can see that in 7 days we are charging commission 30%. You can take any number, you can charge 100%, it's totally up to you, but no one's going to stake the token in your contract. So like I can come here and I'm going to charge 30%. Let's say 30%. And then you have to click on this transaction. So once you will click provide all of this data, make sure to double check all of these things. Okay, timestamp, date, percentage, and then click on this transaction. So once you call this function, it's going to trigger your smart contract with all the data. You can see initialize function we are calling. Click on confirm, and it's going to make the transaction and it will start the smart contract. And this is the exact thing you have to do for all the contracts, like for different days. So 7 days, 14 days, and like 16 days or 90 days, no matter how many days you are providing to stake. Because like if you are allowing them to 7 days staking, so this is one contract. If you allow them to for 14 days, that's a different contract, and you have to do the exact thing. So you have to deploy multiple contracts for that. If you reload, come back here, you can see, reload the browser, you can see this is the function we have called just now in 30 seconds ago, and our contract is successfully initialized. Now what you have to do is, if you want to use the contract we have deployed in our application, that's also very easy because we have the address of the token. So you can see you can able to check all the data we have defined. Rate, maximum, this is the minimum, this is the staking date, this is the ending, this is the stake, all the things which you can able to find. Like it's on and on, this one is for the users, all of the things which you can call. And that's what we are calling and fetching the data in our front end. So looks pretty fine. Now come back to the project, and if you want to use that particular contract and the token we have deployed in the project and allow user to work straight away, then that's pretty easy. All you have to do is come back here. You can see right now we are working on the 700, say 7 days contract, and this one is the previous one, but I'm going to use the contract we have just now deployed and the token we have just deployed. We're going to use those two contracts in this particular 7 days one. So come back here, close this one. Now come back to the header, and here we have to provide the address. So you can see here we have all the addresses of the contract. So this is the entire ABI. Again, I'm telling you that if you are making any changes in the staking contract, you have to provide the ABI of that particular contract. But if you're using the same contract without any changes, you can go with the same ABI. And I believe that you can easily able to get the ABI, which I have covered tons of time in my project, because all the contract will have the same features, same things. So we don't need to do any changes in the ABI. Then this one ABI can be handled easily, all of this one. So we have all this 4 different contract we have here. Now I'm going to simply paste the address of the contract we have deployed just now. So this is the ABI we have, and let's close this one and come back here. Okay, this is the ABI. So once you would deploy with the hard hat, you can see it will generate the ABI, and you can get it from here as well. Simply copy that one, and that's what you can simply paste here. Let's come back here, and where it is, come back here, initialize hard hat. Okay, here, and you can simply paste here. You can do the same thing for the token, because one thing I want to highlight is that this token we have built, it's a custom token. It's not like a regular token like OpenZeppelin. So you have to provide the ABI of the token of the custom token, not the ABI of the OpenZeppelin. Looks pretty good. Okay, this is the ABI of our custom token. Now we have to provide the addresses. Looks good. Now I'll simply come here in Web3, and we can see this is the custom token we have, and this is the one we have used. Now close this one and come back to the header, and now we have to pass the data in the API. So these are the two things you have to keep in mind. Again, I'm telling you, that's why I'm showing you again this thing, that's what you have to keep in mind. Now we have to paste the address. So come back here in the remix ID, we have deployed the contract, and here we have the staking contract address. That's what I'm going to take it. Simply copy that one, come back here and paste here. So this is the newly deployed contract address, and this one is the old one. So come back here, and now if you use this particular token, it's not going to work with our new contract, but it will work with all these 3 other contracts. But if I change this particular token as well, then other 3 contract will not work, but it will work with the first one, because we have initialized different token in other contracts on another contract. Now get me this token and paste here. So we have changed the token and the contract. If you want to use the 4 different token for 4 different contract, all you have to do is to do the same thing exactly we have done with the contract. But I will go with this easy and simplest way, and that's what we follow in the real world app. We don't allow them to have multiple token for staking, because that will not scale your application. We go with a simple one token, and we'll allow multiple contract to stake and earn reward. So that's the setup we have done. Everything is looking fine. So it will work with only first contract, because other 3 contracts are the old one and it has a different contract. So looks pretty good. And by the way, if you want to test the transaction which I have done, you can simply copy the old contract address and you can paste it, and you can have the data of the old contract which are deployed, and do the same thing for the other tokens, the token as well. So now what I will do is now come back to the application. If I reload the browser, come back here in the home page, everything's working fine. You can see we have no issues. So I will come here in the remix ID. I'm going to stop the application from running, and let me close this terminal. Let me close this one. So we have done all the setups. Close this one, and now we have to start the application. So we are not using any hard add. We are not using Next.js, React, TypeScript. So we can type npm run dev to start the application. This time we're going to use live server. So come back to the extension. So this is the page, this is the home page I just want to start. So what I will do is I'll come back here in the I will come back to the in the extension. I'll type live server, and this server will allow you to open up your application. So I believe that you guys already know about this, and you guys already have in your application in your VS Code. So if you don't have, make sure to install it. I have already done that. You can see it's looking fine. You can click and you can have a look on this. So close this one, and now once you successfully install, make sure to open the file which you want to open. This is the home page, and here you will have a button called go live once you will install the live server. So once you install the live server, I want you to restart your VS Code, because it will take a little bit time to add this in the terminal. So you can see I have a go live. I can click on that and it will open the application and the browser. So simply copy that one, close this one, come back here in the Chrome browser, because I like to use Chrome browser and I don't want to use any other browser. So I will simply paste here and hit enter. That will open the application. You can see every single thing is working fine. We have no issues in that. If you click on that, we are already connected with the application. Looks pretty good. Fetching all the balance. Let me log out and reload the browser. It will open the, it's not opening. Okay, I think I have not attached the function here in the index page. So what I will do, I'll come back here in the code, and you can see I have not attached the script for connecting with the MetaMask. So to do that, very easy. All we have to do is that you can see here we have this index file, and in that we have the current wallet function which we are not calling. So what I can do is come back here in the, this is the home page, and here we have to pass the script. So what I will do here, I have already attached the functionality in the staking file, because that's where I was testing. So we need all these 4 files, all these 4 files. So let's paste that. As you can see, as soon as we paste it, it will open the MetaMask and it will call the function. All we have to do is to pass the password and click on unlog, and here we have log into the application. Looks pretty good. So you can see it looks pretty good. You can log out and it will automatically open the MetaMask, because we are calling the function straight away in the page reload, or you can easily able to do the modification on the click button, which I have covered tons of time. But I will go with this approach, because our contract is dependent on the address of the user for fetching his balance. So I'll go with this. You come back to the project and you can see everything is working fine, no issues we have. You can go to the details. This is the staking, and here you can see that this now we are using the new contract we have just created. We have 0 token into this our contract, you can see. So we have 0 tokens stored in the contract. All the data is fetching, and the current balance of the token I have is this. You can see this much token we have initialized, and that's what I have here. So this much balance I have in my token, and now I can easily able to call the function. You can see all the function we are calling: 7 days, yes, 3%, 1, then the total value active, and the time and date. And these are the old contract. In this, we're going to stake the token. It's not going to work, and that's the thing you have to keep in mind, because many of you say that I'm getting this error or that error. If you really want to use the same token in other three contract, you have to redeploy the contracts and give the token addresses, then it will take the token. Otherwise it will not take the tokens. So it looks pretty good. Now what I can do is I'll take this 7 days staking contract, and I'm going to stake the token. So first I will pass that 100 token I want to stake. Click on the stake, and it's going to call the approve function in our contract, and it will approve the token. You can do one thing. You can create a separate input field for the approve and the stake, but I'm going with the same one. You can do the modification from your end. Okay, it's approving, and look fine. Just wait, the transaction is happening in the background, and once the transaction will complete, you can see the token is approved, and now we can simply reload and you can call the function again, and this time the token will stake in the contract. You can see MetaMask open, calling the stake function, and here we have making the transaction, and here we are redirect to the analytical page, and this is the token. This is the amount of token you have stake, and the gas amount which you have paid, and the status is true. There is tons of information about the contract user. That's what we are not displaying here, but you can display. That's all I will cover in the project. Don't need to worry about that what data you will have. So you can click and you can easily able to verify the transaction. It's taking a little bit time because we have done the transaction. Come back here, and you can see this is the 7 days token. We have the token amount we have in our balance is less. Earlier we have 10,000, but now 100 is less. You can see your lock token and the reward, and that looks good. You can see everything is working fine. Now let me attach all these function for opening the MetaMask and fetching the data in all the pages. So again, I'm telling you that when you will get the final code, and that these things are already done. I will give you the updated code, so you can simply download it, or all you have to do is to deploy the contract and add the contract addresses, token addresses, and it will work fine. So simply let me copy this one. Okay, what's happening. Come back to the here, and here we have already attached in the registration. Come back to the project 2, and here we have to paste it. This 3 function we have to paste. Go to the project detail page and do the same thing there as well. Paste here, and come back to the index we have done. Come back to the contact, paste here. Come back to the analytical, and we have to do the same thing here as well. Looks pretty good, and I think I'm missing something. So we have this. Actually, we need all these 4, not only 3. We need the Web3 library as well. So come back here in the product detail and paste here Web3 library, product page as well, contact, and we have the analytical. In this way, like all the function is attached in all the pages, and it will trigger. So looks pretty fine, and now you will have no issues. Projects, taking. Now we have this profile. You can have all this data. Looks pretty good. And come back here, looks pretty good. We have the index, header. All you have to do is to replace the addresses, and that will work fine. Again, I'm telling you, if you do any modification in the contract, in the staking contract, in the token contract, make sure to provide the relevant API of the contract and addresses. Okay, looks good. All this are fine, no issues we have here. So close this one, and things are looking good. And now let me show you the real goal, the most complete template for staking Dapp. So if I open this, in this you will find that we have all of these files which we have created only for this project. So you can see we have this all. Now what I will do, I'll come back here in the index file, and first I have to stop the previous live server, and I have to initialize this particular page. So here I've started, copy this URL, come back to the Chrome browser and paste it right up here. So this is the complete template, in that we have not attached any functionality, but we have provided all the templates for this particular dApp, including all the pages. So if you want to add more features, you can do it very easily. So this is the home page. It has the exact interface like the previous one, but it has a couple of more pages. Come back to the project, in that you will find that we have, say, like close to 5 different type of project page. So if you click on the very first one, this is how the first one would look like with the pagination. This is how the second would look like in the card, and we have the third one. This is how the look like with the slider, card slider. And we have the fourth one is this looks pretty good without pagination. And we have this product detail page. It is exactly you have seen. And now we have this staking page in 2 different format as well. So first one we have like this style, which you guys have seen, which we have used. And again, I'm telling you that we haven't attached any functionality in this. All you have to do is to attach the functionality and it is ready. Everything I will cover extensively. And this template will be the bonus for those who will buy the source code and give us the valuable contribution. I hope you good guys love this project. So that looks good. Now come back to the second style tab. This is how the second tab will look like. Okay, looks good. Come back to the farming. That's how it will look. Quite similar one. We have this one, all the trading, all this latest transaction or coins you can display. We have a couple of inner pages, and we have the current wallet pages, like you can assign multiple wallet option for the users. We have the help center and like all the information you can display about the project which you have initialized, the pricing and all. And here we have the contract. Looks good. And we have other pages which you guys can see from your end. And here we have the contact page, which you guys have already seen. It's working 100% fine. And here we have the sidebar, no issues, everything's looking fine. Here we have navigating to different pages. Looks good. Let's check the responsiveness. And you can see search bar is working fine. We have this, looks pretty good. And we have this wallet option as well. And don't need to worry about that. We're going to build every single thing together, whatever I have shown you in the first part. And this one is the additional one, in case if you guys want to launch your application and have the complete template, then you guys can take it. So if you really want to get the source code, come back to the blockchain coder. Here you will find all the project source code which we have taken, and you can start working straight away. So this is the one. You can simply filter from here, or you can click on this and you can come here. And I want you to download the startup file right now, because in that you will have all the assets, all the libraries already there, all the folder file structure is already defined. All we're going to do is we're going to take this particular startup file and we're going to start coding straight away. So make sure to get the startup file, and if you want the complete code, you can simply get it from here. But get the complete startup file right now so we can start working together, where we're going to write all the functionality together. Okay, or you can click on this and you can watch this particular video whenever you will come and have any confusion. So you can come and watch right up here. So it looks pretty good. Everything is working fine to me. And recently I have launched my course. This is the complete course where I have teach you every single thing about the state management and the real world application, how it's built. So I want you to come and have a look at this. This particular application is powered by AI. There you will learn all of this technology, and that will teach you every single thing which you have to know about the web development and how you can take that skill into the Web3 space. So this will teach you everything. So let me close this one. And so that looks pretty good. And that's the only thing I want to cover in this video. I hope you guys have got an idea that what you're going to build and how you can get the assets. So I hope you guys will have a lot of fun. Very soon I'm going to publish the videos on this project, because the videos is almost ready. We have 10% left and the 80% videos are ready, and it's also recorded and it's in the editing phase. So within the week, like after a week, we'll start posting the videos, and so you guys can follow that. So hope you guys have enjoyed this entire project. If you guys have any question and doubt, do let me know in the comment section. I'll try to help you in that. With that, I'm ending this video. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.